5 minutes grace period, and inshallah, 9:05 we will begin the prayer. Until then, continue with our takbirat. Allahu Akbar. I'm just going to quickly go through the procedure for the Eid Salat. So the Eid Salat, it consists of 2 units, it's a 2 rakat prayer. And in these 2 rakats, when the Imam pronounces the first takbirah, takbirat al-tahreem, you will raise your hands and you will fold them. After which there will be 7 consecutive takbirat. 7 consecutive takbirat. Upon the completion of the 7 takbirat, the recitation will commence as normal, and the rakat will be completed as normal. On the second rakat, before the commencement of the recitation, there will be 5 consecutive takbirat. There will be 5 consecutive takbirat. After the completion of the 5 takbirat, the recitation will commence and the salat will be completed in the normal fashion. After which the khutbah will take place. After the khutbah takes place, there will be a brief dua, and then inshallah we can make our way home or the medzara, the place where we're going to do qurbani, and inshallah we can meet and greet with one another. But be mindful and be particular and be careful when exiting the premises and when meeting and greeting with one another. We don't want this to become an event where the virus can spread. Inshallah, everyone is requested to stand. Jazakallah khairan. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. 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 الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. القارعة ما القارعة وما أدراك ما القارعة يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث وتكون الجبال كالعهن المنفوش فأما من ثقلت موازينه فهو في عيشة راضية وأما من خفت موازينه فأمه هاوية وما أدراك ما هي نار حامية. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله والله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله والله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله والله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد إن الحمد لله الذي أعاد فوائد فضله ما يعود في كل عيد على المؤمنين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له الملك الحق المبين وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله الصادق الأمين صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد فيا معاشر المسلمين روى الشيخان عن البراء رضي الله عنه قال خطبنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يوم النحر فقال إن أول ما نبدأ به في يومنا هذا أن نصلي ثم نرجع فننحر فمن فعل ذلك فقد أصاب سنتنا ومن ذبح قبل أن نصلي إنما هو شاة لحم عجله لأهله ليس من النسك فيه شيء وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ما عمل ابن آدم من عمل يوم النحر أحب إلى الله من إهراق الدم وإنه ليأتي يوم القيامة بقرونها وأشعارها وأغلافها وإن الدم ليقع من الله بمكان قبل أن يقع بالأرض فاطيبوا بها نفسا رواه الإمام الترمذي عن بريدة رضي الله عنه وأيضا عن عائشة رضي الله عنها. Respected brothers, sisters, elders and youngsters, Eid is not just a time of celebration. Eid is a time for reflection, introspection, and it is an opportunity and it is a time to validate our commitment to Allah Azza wa Jalla. We are able to emulate the sacrifice of Ibrahim alayhi salam. We are able to emulate the sacrifice of Ibrahim alayhi salam. But true fulfillment of this sacrifice will be when we follow and adhere to every order of Allah and to submit to each and every single command. We can't be selective in what we want to follow. We can't be selective in which commands of Allah Azza wa Jal we want to follow. There is no such thing as following selective commands of Allah Azza wa Jal. Each and every single one of Allah's orders and commands has equal rights when it comes to following them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about Ibrahim alayhi salam in the highest of terms. وَإِبْرَاهِيمُ الَّذِي وَفَّى. And remember Ibrahim alayhi salam who proved ever true to the order of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say this? Because Ibrahim alayhi salam never wavered in carrying out the injunctions and commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He did it with fervor and enthusiasm. And this is what we need to get. This is what we learn from Eid al-Adha. That we need to carry out the ahkam and the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with fervor and enthusiasm. We can't afford to be selective in what we want to do and what we don't want to do. And this is how our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should be. That every single command has equal rights as far as we are concerned. Carry out the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with enthusiasm. When Ibrahim alayhi salam was commanded by Allah Azza wa Jal to sacrifice his son, Ismail alayhi salam, he submitted to Allah without question. There was no, he never questioned Allah Azza wa Jal. He never questioned the rationale. He never questioned the logic. He submitted to Allah Azza wa Jal's command. He was tested, but he never wavered. He never wavered in his test. He never faltered in following the hukm and injunction of Allah Azza wa Jalla. In his youth, Ibrahim alayhi salam was exiled. Why was he exiled in his youth? Because this was a man who said that Allah Azza wa Jalla is one. In old age, he was tested with sacrificing his son. This is a time when a person is old, when a father is old. This is the time when he needs his son the most. This is a time when he needs his son the most. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent an order to Ibrahim alayhi salam. And he carried it out to the letter. And as this is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِبْرَاهِيمُ الَّذِي وَفَّى. And remember Ibrahim alayhi salam, how he fulfilled the commandments and injunctions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As a young man, he faced his father. He faced his father that you're engaging in idolatry. This is a despicable act. This is an abhorrent act. So he had to face his father. He had to stand up for the truth. And we have to do this. We have to stand up for the truth. If we see something that is wrong, if we see something that is evil, it is our job, my job and your job to stand up for the truth. Because of this, he was thrown into the fire. He left his homeland because of this, because he stood up for the haqq. He stood up for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Read through the entire, when we read through the entire episode of Ibrahim al-Islam, it is a lesson of complete submission. It is a lesson of complete submission, obedience, and sacrifice. This was how Ibrahim al-Islam lived his entire life. Today, we look at other people who we may think are successful. We look at them because of their wealth. We look at them because of their status in society. But look at the prophets. Look at Ibrahim al-Islam. Look at the prophets that Allah Azza wa Jalla has mentioned in the Quran. There's a reason why Allah Azza wa Jalla has mentioned these specific prophets. It's to derive lessons from their life. It is a lesson for us that we look at each and every single story of the Prophet and derive lessons from it. We will find guidance in how the prophets lived. We will find guidance in the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. But today, our heroes are other heroes. Our heroes are the people that we look up to, our role models. They are other people. They might be celebrities. They might be basketball players. But this is not our way. This is not the way of Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has recorded these stories in the Quran so that we may derive benefit from them. Not to just read through them and that's it. And we don't do anything else. Read the stories of the Sahaba. Read the stories of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These people were people of Allah. They were Ahlullah wa Khassatuh. They were people of Allah and they were the closest confidants to Allah Azza wa Jalla. They upheld justice in every aspect of their lives. One of the Ottoman caliphs, Sultan Mahmud, he would say that if we don't educate our children with Islam, if we don't educate our children with Islam, morality, honesty, ethics, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will educate us with trials and tribulations. Is this not true today? Is this not true today? Where we see trials and tribulations all around us. What is this pandemic if not trial and tribulation? So we need to do our part in raising the next generation. You and I, tomorrow we're not going to be here. Who's going to carry the standard of Islam? Who's going to carry the banner of Islam? Who's going to populate the masjid if you and I are not here? Who's going to do this? The onus and responsibility falls on yours and my shoulders. It falls on your shoulders, it falls on my shoulders. That we prepare the next generation to populate the masjid, to make sure that this masjid continues to exist until the day of Qiyamah. And all the masajid throughout the world. All the masajid throughout the world. Our role model is the Prophet ﷺ. This is our role model. His sublime teachings are part of the framework of our Islam. The deen that you and I claim to follow. The deen that you and I claim to follow, the sublime teachings of Rasulullah ﷺ, they form the framework of Islam. His advent resulted in giving humanity freedom. Read the life of Rasulullah ﷺ. His advent resulted in giving humanity freedom. Freedom from what? From oppression, superstition, atheism, paganism, idolatry, materialism, xenophobia, exploitation, monopoly, barbarism. Rasulullah ﷺ granted all of these freedoms to the people of Arabia, and they carried this message forward. This is one of the reasons why Islam spread. This is the reason why Islam spread, not through the sword, but because of the power of haqq. The power of haqq, the power of truth was on their side. This is why Islam spread. We all have a responsibility to uphold the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ and take them forward to the next generation. This is why Rasulullah ﷺ said, فَرُبَّ مُبَلِّغٍ طَوْعًا مِنْ سَامِدٍ. فَرُبَّ How often is it that the one who is being conveyed, the message that is being conveyed to the individual, he is more retentive than the person that is conveying the actual message. Brothers and sisters, one of the worst societal ills is racism. One of the worst societal ills in racism is racism. And the day of Eid is to remember that each and every single person, regardless of where we came from, regardless of the language that we speak, regardless of what color we are all Muslim. We are all Muslim. And this is the criterion. This is the criterion of judgment. When it comes to the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when it comes to the court of Allah azza wa jalla, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to judge us based on our relationship with Him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to look at anything else but our relationship, our taqwa. Our Lord is the same. As Muslims, our Lord is the same. Our Prophet is the same. Our religion is the same. This is the criteria of brotherhood. This is the criteria of unity. People think that the criteria of unity is different things. Let me tell you right now, the criteria of unity is La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. I'm going to lift all of the veils. This is the criterion of unity. People talk about unity. They love talking about unity as well. And they think that unity is celebrating an Eid of a particular day. Unity is doing such and such thing in a particular manner, in a particular method. No. Unity is based unequivocally on La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. We are all Muslims. Our deen is the same. Our Prophet is the same. This is the criterion for unity. Never look down on someone due to their race, their color, their language. If we do, then in reality, we have an issue with Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ خَلْقُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ وَأَلْوَانِكُمْ. These are from the signs of Allah Azza wa Jalla. This is a way to acknowledge the existence of Allah. The creation of the heavens, the creation of the earth, the different languages that people speak to communicate with one another, the different colors that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the entire creation. These are from the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to attest and testify to the existence of Allah Azza wa Jalla. These differences that we have, sometimes we might have differences in tertiary issues, secondary issues, fiqhi issues, juristic issues. These differences are not to bring about hatred and enmity into our communities, but as love and recognition and to remember Allah Azza wa Jalla. This is for love and recognition of Allah Azza wa Jalla, to remember Allah Azza wa Jalla. The platform for unity, as I said, it is not race, it isn't jurisprudence, it isn't money, it isn't language. It is always going to be La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah until the day of Qiyamah. If we desire our communities to flourish and succeed, then we need to draw from the prophetic teachings where every person was valued. Every person was valued despite language or where they came from. Bilal, where was he from? He was from Habsha. He was from Africa. Suhail, where was he from? From Hibaruni, he was from Rome. He was from Rome. Salman, where was he from? He was from Paris. Each and every single one of them, they had the same equal standing as Abu Bakr, as Umar, as Uthman, as Ali. The Prophet created a society of unity. The Prophet created a society of unity. Brothers and sisters, Eid is not an excuse to sin. This is a day of celebration, but this does not mean that we engage in sin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Lord today, just as He is Lord on other days. So Eid is not an excuse for you and I to sin. Remember Rasulullah's words that blood, the wealth and honor of a Muslim, it is inviolable. It is inviolable. Just as the city is inviolable. The Prophet said, the blood, honor, and money of the Muslim is sanctified. Just as the city of Makkah is sanctified, the Kaaba is sanctified, and the day is sanctified. In a similar vein, more so, is the blood, honor, and love of a Muslim. These are all sanctified. These are things that we need to remember. Today when we leave this area, when we leave this musalla, we should all make a commitment to Allah Azza wa Jalla that I am going to do my best. I am going to do my best to bring this deen forward to the next generation. I will do my part as far as populating the masjid, as far as teaching the next generation the importance of Islamic May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us understanding. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر ولكم لسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه. وهذا يوم ضيافة رب العباد. قال تعالى فصل لربك وانحر. قال قتادة وعطاء وإكرمة رحمه الله وما صلاة العيد ونحن الأضحية وذلك كله لله لربه كما أن الحج لله ولله على الناس حج البيت من استطاع إليه سبيلا وأتموا الحج والعمرة لله. وتذكروا خطبة الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم التي ألقاها في ميدان العرفات حيث قال فيها إن أباكم واحد وإن إلهكم واحد، وقال فيها إن دماءكم حرام، وقال استوصوا بالنساء خيرا، وقال تركت فيكم شيئين كتاب الله وسنتي إن تمسكتم بهما لن تضلوا أبدا فاتقوا الله فلا فضل لعرب على أجل إلا بالتقوى وهي المطلوب من سنة الخليل عليه السلام. قال تعالى لن ينال الله لحومها ولا دماؤها ولكن ينال التقوى منكم فالتقوى سبب لتعظيم الشعائر ومن يعظم شعائر الله فإنها من تقوى القلوب. أيها المسلمون أنتم مأمورون بالفرحة في هذا اليوم، كنتم في طاعة وتنتقلون إلى أخرى فافرحوا ولكم الأجر. قل بفضل الله ورحمته فبذلك فليفرحوا هو خير مما يجمعون. واجعلوا هذه الأيام أيام العيد فرحا ولا ترحا، أيام اتفاق لا اختلاف، أيام سعادة لا شقاء، أيام حب وصفاء لا بغضاء ولا شحناء، تسامحوا وتصافحوا تبادلوا وتحابوا، تعاونوا على البر والتقوى لا على الإثم والعدوان، صلوا الأرحام وارحموا الأيتام وتخلقوا بأخلاق الإسلام. اللهم اقض عنا معهم برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين. اللهم الف بين قلوب المسلمين، اللهم انصر الاسلام والمسلمين، اللهم اعز الاسلام والمسلمين في كل زمان ومكان. اللهم ارفع رايه الاسلام في انحاء العالم كله برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين. اللهم اصلح ولاة امور المسلمين في كل مكان وزمان وحين، واهد سبل السلام. اللهم اغفر للحجاج والمعتمرين ويسر لهم اداء مناسك الحج واركانه وتقبل منهم منا معهم. اللهم يسر لزوار بيتك الحرام الذين اتوا والذين قصدوا واتوا من كل فج امين، وعنهم على امورهم بقيه اداء مناسك الحج واركانه مع سلوكهم وادائه، واجعل حجهم مقبولا ومغفورا، وارزقناهم ايضا بفضلك يا منان يا منان. Oh Allah, you forgive our sins. Oh Allah, you forgive our major and minor sins. Oh Allah, you forgive the sins that we have committed in open. Oh Allah, you forgive the sins that we have committed in secret. Oh Allah, you forgive each and every single one of our sins, Ya Allah. All of those who are present today, Ya Allah, all the Muslims around the world, Ya Allah, you forgive their sins. Oh Allah, you accept our worship. Oh Allah, you accept our worship, Ya Allah. Oh Allah, you know that our worship is deficient, Ya Allah, but you are merciful, you are compassionate, Ya Allah. You accept our worship, Ya Allah. Oh Allah, give us all the tawfiq, Ya Allah, to compliment our message, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, put within us the love for Islam, Ya Allah. Oh Allah, protect our youth, Ya Allah, from the trials and tribulations, Ya Allah. Oh Allah, you protect our youth from trials and tribulations, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, those who are searching for spouses, Ya Allah, those who are searching for spouses, Ya Allah, grant them pious spouses, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, grant those Muslims pious spouses, Ya Allah. The Muslims who are suffering, Ya Allah, in Kashmir, in Palestine, in China, in Burma, all the places where Muslims are suffering, Ya Allah, you alleviate their situation, Ya Allah. You alleviate their situation. Those who are sick, Ya Allah, you grant them shifa, kamila, ajila, muslimin, Ya Allah. Those who have passed, Ya Allah, those who have passed and who are not with us any longer, Ya Allah, you forgive their shortcomings, Ya Allah. You exalt their rank in the hereafter, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, put within us the zeal of Islam. ربنا تقبل